The public has never stopped wondering about Brad Pitt's romantic history. His love life has been anything but dull, with whirlwind romances and two marriages that made headlines. Some of the most stunning and well-known Hollywood stars have been linked to him: Jennifer Aniston, Gwyneth Paltrow, and Angelina Jolie. The media covered every couple's relationship. Fans were talking about every split. One woman, nevertheless, stands out as having made an impression that no one else has been able to match. And now, at long last, is talking about her. What does she look like? Why does he continue to feel a strong emotional connection to her? Come explore Brad's history with us as we reveal the one love that haunted him. Before fame hit, there were these early romances. Brad Pitt dated British pop singer Sunita when they were both in their early 20s. From 1986 until 1988, they supposedly dated. Even after all these years had passed, Sunita still thought Pitt had the most incredible physique. "Was fun," she remarked. "He seemed charming and youthful." Their romance began before Pitt shot to fame. "Oh my God, what have I done?" she exclaimed when seeing Thelma and Louise afterwards. Additionally, she revealed that an irate admirer had slapped her outside a grocery store over their relationship. Jill Scullin was her partner after Sunita. They first crossed paths in the late 80s when shooting the horror flick Cutting Class. It was a short-lived romance. Actress E.G. Daly entered the scene. She gushed over his gorgeous spirit and Pitt in her true Hollywood story. She had a deep affinity for him and thought he was really dedicated to his job. "What I could sense in him," she added, "was an intense, primal desire to accomplish something monumental." They continued to be friends even after their time together was short. Pitt was also linked to Robin Givens. They became close while working on Head of the Class and during Givens's divorce from her husband, Mike Tyson, at the time. The fact that Tyson once observed Givens and Pitt in a car in his driveway is an undeniable fact, as he stated in his autobiography. Additionally, he asserted that he discovered them sharing a bed. In an interview from 2019, though, Givens painted a different picture. What she described regarding the driveway was accurate, she claimed. "It was him who saw you and Brad Pitt pull into the driveway. I see you're just entering the driveway." That is correct, indeed. However, being in bed was never an actual occurrence. Totally did not occur. She spoke. "Why? Because I skipped over the book. I understand. It was never actually the case, but rumor has it that he claims to have caught us in bed, which never occurred." "Oh, absolutely not. Holy cow." She elaborated that the car had recently returned from a screening. Also got their turn in the limelight alongside Christina Applegate. They made multiple appearances together and even attended the 1989 MTV Movie Awards in a couple's capacity. Applegate, however, left Pitt for another man while the event was happening. Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen's Plead the Fifth episode in 2015 had her refusing to reveal the identity of the mystery man. Additionally, she mentioned that following that night, she did not go on to date either him or Pitt. Juliette Lewis arrived. In late 1989, she began dating Pitt, and the couple remained together until 1993. The movies California and Too Young to Die were their collaborative efforts. Pitt continued to talk nice things about her even after they broke up. 2 years later, he expressed his continued love for the woman in an interview with Vanity Fair. "That is just brilliant. Spending time with her was fantastic. It was a connection unlike any other I've ever experienced." He elaborated by saying that we are taught from a young age that love is stronger than anything else. By the way, isn't that incorrect? Regarding Juliette, she revealed afterwards that she was unhappy with the media's incessant fixation on Pitt. "People ought to get over it," she said in 2014. "Neither Brad Pitt nor my battle with substance abuse has been front and center since I was 22 years old. My age is 45. At 22 years old, I stopped gambling. There is progress. Left the past in the past. From celebrity weddings to genuine feelings." Also, Pitt and model Jika Polidek shared a fleeting kiss. In November 1994, she accompanied him to the premiere of Legends of the Fall. Polidek stated afterwards that the man glows, even though they didn't discuss the connection much at the time. His relationship with Gwyneth Paltrow, however, was the most notable aspect. Paltrow played his wife in the 1995 film C7N, where they first crossed paths. Their relationship flourished off-screen. He referred to her as his angel and love of his life in his 1996 Golden Globe acceptance speech. A few months later, in June of that year, the pair broke off their engagement. Bruce Paltrow, Paltrow's father, was devastated by the breakup, according to Paltrow subsequently, since he loved Pitt. Pitt and Paltrow maintained a tight relationship even after they broke up. In a 2022 conversation, he told her, "It's lovely to have you as a friend now." She also looked back on their time together with strong feelings. In May 2023, during the Call Her Daddy podcast, she said it was major major love at first sight when they met on the set. She shared a memory of proposing to her one night on a balcony in Argentina. "I wish I remembered exactly what he said," she said, "but he proposed. It was fantastic. I was thrilled." She remembered that they had talked about getting engaged, but the actual moment still came as a surprise. "I must have been 24, she said. That memory, shared years later, gives a small glimpse into what their relationship truly meant. It wasn't just a public romance. It had deep, personal moments. And while the world remembers the red carpets, the real story may be in the quiet places no one saw. After his relationship with Gwyneth Paltrow came another love story, this time with Jennifer Aniston. And though it started quietly, it would soon become one of Hollywood's most talked about romances. Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston met for the first time in 1994. It was not a romantic moment at the time. They were introduced by their managers. Aniston once said that her first impression of Brad was that he was just this sweet guy from Missouri. She added, "a normal guy." But it wasn't until 1998 that things began to change between them. By then, both were single. Aniston had ended her relationship with actor Tate Donovan, and Pitt had just called off his engagement to Gwyneth Paltrow. Their managers brought them together again. This time they clicked. Aniston later told Diane Sawyer that their first date was easy and fun. Soon, the media started watching their every move. In September 1999, they made their red carpet debut as a couple at the Emmy Awards. Pitt wore silver sunglasses, and Aniston wore a sparkling dress. Fans loved seeing them together. Just 2 months later, during a Sting concert in New York City, they announced their engagement. Aniston showed off a diamond and platinum ring designed by Silvia Damiani. People later reported that Pitt spent 7 months working on the ring's design. On July 29, 2000, Brad and Jennifer got married in Malibu, California. It was a star-studded event with 200 guests. There were 50,000 flowers for bands, a gospel choir, and even fireworks. Jennifer's father, actor John Aniston, walked her down the aisle and later told people, "Jennifer looked beautiful." It was a spectacular wedding. The bride wore a beaded gown made of silk and satin by designer Lawrence Steele. Some reports said the wedding cost nearly $1 million. After the wedding, they continued to appear together at major events. Their first red carpet as a married couple was at the 2000 Emmy Awards. In 2001, Pitt even guest-starred on Aniston's show, Friends, during the Thanksgiving episode titled "The One with the Rumor." He played a character who didn't like Rachel Green, Aniston's role on the show. She later said, "Pitt was wonderful." In January 2002, they attended the Golden Globes together, matching in black suits and similar blonde hair. That same year, the couple launched Plan B Entertainment with producer Brad Gray. Aniston told The Guardian that they kept the company quiet at first because they didn't want people to think it was just a vanity project. By 2004, the company had 17 films in production, including Troy and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. But as their work lives took off, their personal life faced pressure. When love faced questions in 2003, Jennifer did an interview with W Magazine where the reporter called Brad the love of her life. But Jennifer was not sure about using that phrase. She added, "It's nice to have somebody who's anchored and knows you, really knows all of you." In 2004, Aniston gave another interview, this time to The Guardian, and spoke about starting a family. She said, "It's time. It's time. You know, I think you can work with a baby. I think you can work pregnant. I think you can do all of it. So I'm just truly looking forward to slowing down." It sounded like she was ready for a new chapter. But just months later, in January 2005, Brad and Jennifer announced their separation. The couple gave a joint statement to People saying, "We would like to announce that after 7 years together, we have decided to formally separate." They also addressed the rumors saying, "Our separation is not the result of any of the speculation reported by the tabloid media. This decision is the result of much thoughtful consideration." They ended the message by asking for kindness and privacy and added, after the goodbye, a bond that shifted. On March 25, 2005, Jennifer officially filed for divorce from Brad Pitt. She cited irreconcilable differences and asked to change her last name back to Aniston. The divorce was finalized on October 2, 2005. That same month, she gave a long interview to Vanity Fair. She spoke openly about the pain and the public attention. "There are many stages of grief," she said. "Sad, something coming to an end. It cracks you open, in a way, cracks you open to feeling. When you try to avoid the pain, it creates greater pain. I'm a human being, having a human experience in front of the world. I wish it weren't in front of the world. I try really hard to rise above it." She also shared her reaction to photos of Pitt and Angelina Jolie in Kenya. "It certainly wasn't a year highlight for me. I mean, who could handle that and then think, isn't that cute? What appears to be enjoyable actually occurs. If something doesn't kill you, It only makes you stronger, you joke. But she still wanted the press to quit including her in romantic triangles. She stated that she would prefer it if everyone moved on. This connection does not determine who I am. The media's portrayal of me in the triangle does not define me. It annoys me to no end. Things calmed down in subsequent years. Supposedly, Pitt resumed texting Aniston after his 2017 split from Jolie. In fact, he was even there during her 2019 50th birthday celebration. Fans were ecstatic in 2020 when they reunited for a table read for Fast Times at Ridgemont High and the Screen Actors Guild Awards. However, fans anticipating a romantic return were let down. An anonymous source informed People in 2018 that she had previously stated that she and Pitt are close friends. Even though their romance ended, they still held each other in high regard. Brad Pitt's romantic life changed direction after his breakup with Jennifer Aniston, one that would captivate audiences to the same extent, if not more. Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie first crossed paths in 2003 on the set of Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Brad and Jennifer Aniston were still married at the time. Jolie discussed their collaboration in a 2007 Vogue interview. She stated they were happy to work closely together but didn't instantly fall in love. She went on to say that the film was the catalyst for their unexpectedly wild antics together, and that they had found this strange friendship and partnership as a result. After filming for a few months, Jolie said she began to notice a change in her mood. I think a few months in, I realized, God, I can't wait to get to work. She said they found joy in working together and became a real team. She added, we just became kind of a pair. At the time, Jolie said she didn't know much about Brad's personal life, but it was clear he was with his best friend. Someone he loves and respects, she explained. She said it wasn't until the end of filming that they started to realize their connection might mean something more. Both of them knew it was serious and would need to be handled carefully. Brad and Jennifer Aniston separated in January 2005, and later that same year, Jolie adopted her second child, Zahara Marley. She was already mom to Maddox. And by January 2006, both kids had their last names changed to Jolie Pitt. A close friend of the couple told People, it's the idea that you love one another and you want to create a family together. What's beautiful is you can do it by birth or by adoption. That same month, Jolie confirmed she was pregnant with Brad's child. In May 2006, the couple welcomed daughter Shiloh Nouvelle. In December that year, they made their red carpet debut as a couple at the New York City premiere of Jolie's film, The Good Shepherd. Their family continued to grow the next year, when they adopted a son, Pax Tien from Vietnam. Then in February 2008, Jolie appeared at the Independent Spirit Awards with a visible baby bump. It was later revealed she was expecting twins. On July 12, 2008, Jolie gave birth to a boy, Knox Leon, and a girl, Vivian Markellen. Speaking to People after the twins were born, Jolie said, it is chaos. But we are managing it and having a wonderful time. Their life was busy but full of love, and their growing family stayed in the spotlight. From family to fallout. By 2012, Brad and Angelina's children had started asking their parents to get married. That April, the couple's rep confirmed they were engaged. The ring was estimated to be worth around $1 million. On August 23, 2014, they got married at the chapel on their estate in France called Chateau Miraval. Jolie wore a wedding dress that had her children's artwork sewn into the fabric. The couple even let the kids help them write their wedding vows. They told People, during their honeymoon, they worked together again on a film called By the Sea, which came out in 2015. But just over 2 years after the wedding, things changed. On September 20, 2016, Jolie filed for divorce. A statement from her rep said, Angelina Jolie Pitt has filed for dissolution of the marriage. This decision was made for the health of the family. She will not be commenting at this time and asks that the family be given their privacy during this difficult time. Brad also released a short statement saying, the Los Angeles Department of Child and Protective Services looked into it and found no proof of abuse. The FBI also closed the case and did not charge Brad. By April 2019, a judge declared that Brad and Angelina were legally single. Still, their legal fight didn't end there. It took years to settle everything. They didn't fully finish the custody and financial agreements until December 2024, when a judge finally approved the terms of their divorce. Even after all that, one issue remains unresolved. The battle over their winery is still ongoing, and it continues to bring them back to court. The relationship that began with joy and laughter on a movie set ended with a long and difficult legal process, but the full story is still not over. New faces after the storm. After his split from Angelina Jolie, Brad Pitt took some time before stepping back into the dating world. In April 2018, he was seen spending time with MIT professor and architect Neri Oxman. A source told People, "It took him a long time to date, but he is now." The source also mentioned that Pitt was inspired by his friend George Clooney's marriage to Amal. He was looking for someone who could challenge him, especially in terms of intelligence. Even though rumors spread, Oxman denied dating Pitt later that year, but she still praised him, saying he was the last of the Mohicans in post-Netflix Hollywood. She added, not long after, Pitt was linked to model Nicole Petrowski in the summer of 2020. Say they had known each other for at least a year before their romance became public. One witness said they were very flirty at a 2019 Berlin Film Festival party for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. By August 2020, they were spotted at Chateau Miraval in France. A source said they were enjoying each other's company while traveling. An insider also spoke highly of Petrowski, saying, by October, another source said the two were never really in a relationship. Brad hasn't seen Nicole since August. The source explained, was never a relationship. They saw each other a few times, and that's it. You can't call it a split because they were never together in the first place. It was a casual fling, and that's it. Still, in January 2022, one source said that Pitt still keeps in touch with Podorowski. But his name didn't disappear from the headlines just yet. Slow steps toward something real. In late September 2022, Brad Pitt was linked to model Emily Ratajkowski. She had just separated from her husband, Sebastian Bearmclard. A source told People that Brad and Emily were spending a lot of time together, but friends weren't sure if it was serious. Another insider said the two didn't appear to be dating formally. As October came, more sources started to share details. One source close to Ratajkowski said the timing was right, and she wasn't looking for anything too serious. "Is nothing like Brad Pitt cheering you up," the source said. Another insider said she has the vibes that Brad likes. She's bright and articulate. They also mentioned that she shares his interest in art. A third source added they have a lot to talk about and always have a great time when they hang out. There was attraction. They have had a few dates and stay in touch when they don't see each other. The source explained. By the end of 2022, someone else had entered Brad's life. November 13, 2022, Pitt was seen with Ines de Ramon at a Bono concert in Los Angeles. She had quietly separated from her husband, Paul Wesley, earlier that year. Later in November, a source close to Ines confirmed that she and Brad had been dating for a few months. The source also said that they met through a mutual friend and that Brad was really into her. In December 2022, the two attended the premiere of Pitt's film Babylon and were seen together at the after-party. Just days later, they celebrated Pitt's 59th birthday. The couple was photographed arriving at an Italian restaurant in Hollywood. Brad had a birthday party dinner with Ines and friends on Saturday night, a source told People. Guests brought gifts, and the group shared a lot of Italian food. Brad even got a birthday treat, and the group sang happy birthday. The same source said he was in the best mood. He sat next to Ines. They were very cute and flirty. You could tell that she makes him happy. By February 2024, Ines had moved into Brad's Los Angeles home. In July, a source shared, things have been amazing since they moved in together. It's more of a serious relationship than just dating. Brad loves so many things about her. She's great for him. The couple finally made their red carpet debut in September 2024 at the Wolf's premiere during the Venice Film Festival. Brad, once guarded and private, was now walking beside someone who seemed to truly lift his spirits, and the world was watching. The past that never faded. Even years after their divorce, Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston have remained in each other's lives in small but meaningful ways. In September 2007, 2 years after their split, spoke to V Magazine and said, speaking about the separation, he added, "The thing guiding me then was, you don't know how many days you have, and you need life to be everything you need it to be." Time passed, but the public's curiosity around them never went away. Then on January 19, 2020, the two reunited backstage at the SAG Awards. Aniston had just won the award for Outstanding Performance by a Female Actor in a Drama Series for the morning show. Pitt and Aniston shared a smiling embrace backstage. The moment was caught on camera and quickly went viral. It had been 15 years since their divorce, and just one hug was enough to make fans believe something was still there. A source told People, Jen was happy for Brad. They congratulated each other, and that was it. Still, the warmth between them was clear. Both actors had won awards that night, and their friendly moment became the most talked about part of the event. But that was only the beginning of their quiet return into each other's public lives. Friends, not strangers. On September 18, 2020, Brad and Jennifer shared the screen again. It was their first time acting together since their split. The two joined a star-studded virtual table read of Fast Times at Ridgemont High to raise money for Sean Penn's nonprofit, Core and Reform Alliance. Brad and Jen played romantic characters from the 1982 film, and even had a steamy scene in which Brad's character has a fantasy about gents. Their co-stars laughed during the moment, but all eyes were on the former couple's chemistry. Not long after, Aniston appeared on the Howard Stern show and talked about the experience. She said, "It was absolutely fun. Brad and I are buddies. We're friends." She made it clear there was nothing awkward about it. "We speak and there's no oddness at all. Except for everyone that probably watched it and was wanting there to be or assumed there to be," she said. Aniston also spoke about how they had fun doing the reading and were happy to support a good cause. While fans kept hoping for a romantic reunion, both actors stayed honest about where they stood. Back in 2006, just 1 year after their divorce, Aniston had already shared her hope that they could one day be friends again. In an interview with Vanity Fair, she said, "Really do hope that someday we can be friends again." She didn't speak with bitterness, but with love and honesty. "I love Brad. I really love him. I will love him for the rest of my life. He's a fantastic man. I don't regret any of it, and I'm not going to beat myself up about it." She continued, "We spent 7 very intense years together. We taught each other a lot about healing and about fun. We helped each other through a lot, and I really value that. It was a beautiful, complicated relationship." She admitted that what hurt her most was not the end itself, but how the public reduced it to a cliché. "The saddest part is how it has become a Hollywood cliché, in my opinion. It may be a human cliché, though. I have a lot of compassion for everyone going through this." Her words remained true over time, and even years later, her actions demonstrated that she still meant them. They laughed, supported each other, and stood side by side, even if only as friends. But with every reunion, shared smile, and honest word between them, one thing lingers in the hearts of fans everywhere. Many still believe that Jennifer Aniston is and always was Brad Pitt's love. What are your thoughts on Jennifer Aniston and Brad Pitt's relationship? Should they have given their relationship another chance? Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and stay tuned. Thanks for watching.